morning, everyone, and welcome to our Wow Wednesday. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network, and joined today by my co-founder and my sister. And I'm not talking about a sister from another mister. We actually had the same Mrs. and Mr. for our parents. And we're delighted that you chose to join us today. And we know you'll be delighted as well, as Trish Carr is sharing today the number one way to leverage your time and your talents to be able to reach more people. And we know that's what you want. You want to have a greater reach, a greater impact, and also a greater income. So we're thrilled that you're with us today. And Trish will be on in just a moment. Let me share a couple of quick announcements of what's happening in the wonderful world of Women's Prosperity Network. So every month we offer you a variety of opportunities to get together. This Wow Wednesday is one of them. Next Tuesday, we have our networking with a twist. And if you want to know what the twist is, you got to come. Right? You want to meet new people and create real connections. That's what we're all about, to shine the light on you and on what you're bringing to the world. And then we've also got a 3-day, I don't know, Trish, what would you call it? A boot camp, a workshop? What kind of experience are they going to have next week?
A 3-day immersion
Ah, there we
for
go.
2 hours a day. So instead of being immersed for 2 days in a row, you'll actually get small doses of what you need to know so that you can absorb it, you can integrate it, and then you come back for the next dose. So it's over 3 days, 2 hours a day, immersion for those 2 hours.
Beautiful. And the topic is going to be a continuation of what we're sharing today, because we'll give you some great tips and strategies today. And if you are really someone committed to 2025, I am going to serve more people. And I want it to be easy and I want it to flow and I don't want it to be a struggle. You want to join us for the immersion because we're going to give you practical, hands-on, get it done type stuff at this immersion, which we call the business of speaking. So we'll tell you more about that in a little bit. And let me share, for those who may not know Trish Carr, let me share a little bit about her. Trish is on a mission to show women entrepreneurs how to create messaging magic without being salesy. She is a multiple time best-selling author, international speaker, acclaimed sales expert who combines proven communication strategies with behavioral science, resulting in a formula that gets past the pitfalls associated with selling. She is the co-founder of Women's Prosperity Network and also has like decades of experience in sales, training, leadership, management, communication, working for Fortune 100 companies. And 17 years ago, she took all of that expertise, combined it with her passion to be of service to women, and we co-created Women's Prosperity Network. So welcome, Trish.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here this morning. Hi, everybody.
Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to jump right in. You call this technique, strategy, business channel that we're going to be talking about today the number one way to leverage your time and talent to reach more people. Why do you think this is the number one way?
Because I said so. That's what my mother always used to tell me. No,
Yep.
because truthfully, I can't think of any other way that puts you in front of multitudes of people and gives you the opportunity to be focus of that time like this does. So,
Mm-hmm.
the other thing is it gives you the opportunity to be in front of multiple people in the same period of time you could be in front of one person. So you totally leverage your time. You get the opportunity, I like to call it, to have a first date with people for an hour or 45 minutes or a half hour, however long it goes, and they are listening to you. So your opportunity there is to be able to connect, and communicate what it is you're thinking, which for us, it's how our products and services can make a difference for people. And they may not even know what that difference is until we tell them. So it's the way, the way.
The way. And we're talking about this number one way is about speaking to groups, right? So if you've got a business, you've got to be able to speak about what it is that you offer as a solution for people's problems. So as Trish mentioned, if you want, you could do this only in one-on-one conversations, but think about this. If you had a one-on-one conversation with 50 random people on you're sending out DMs, and that is a strategy for expanding your reach. But you don't know if they're really interested in what it is that you have to offer, or if they have a problem, the problem that you solve. When you speak to a group and you've created, some marketing material and you let them know a tidbit about what your talk is going to be about, it's actually a way to sift through leads so that you get more qualified leads, right? Isn't that the number one, challenge we hear our clients experiencing? I need more leads. I want qualified leads. I wasted my time on all these phone calls and talking to all these people
Mhm.
and they didn't want what I had.
Well, part of that is because we're giving so much away for free.
Mm,
There's some psychology to when I pay a little bit of money, there's more value to what I'm getting.
mhm.
So while people do very well on discovery calls, and I give that the quotes, the discovery call is you and I talk and it's free and we try to figure out what's for you. Yes, you might be doing well on those, but I think you would be doing even better if people would pay for the privilege of that strategy call with you,
Mm,
because that's exactly what it is. You're
mhm.
going to speak to people for free, share with them what they could do to make a difference in their own lives based on what you can do for them. You tell them the answers, and then they buy or they don't buy. If they don't buy, they go out and try to do it themselves. So why not be paid for sharing the strategy and learn the choreography of being able to move from I'd like to hear more to I want that. And there's a real choreography to it. So what oftentimes happens is we're not doing a good job in getting across the what we can do for them. It's more about the product and what the service does. So in the business of speaking, which Nancy mentioned is coming up next week, I'm going to show you how there's a dance between us and our audience. And this is true whether the audience is 50 people, 5,000 people, or one person. So everything I'm going to show you in terms of the choreography that it takes is going to be translatable to those one-on-one discovery calls, strategy sessions. It's going to translate to one-on-one conversation when you meet somebody out in the world or at networking or somewhere. And it's going to translate to your copy that you write for your pages. It
Yeah.
translates to emails. And it puts you in front of people and you grab attention and you open the relationship by offering them some way to work with you. And hopefully you're offering it with a price tag attached. Even if that price tag is $9.99, you're more likely to create a customer when they pay you something as
Mhm.
opposed to giving it away for free the first time like that.
You know, I remember years ago I was giving I think it was either a 15 or a 20-minute talk at a local networking event. And the way this event was designed, he had two speakers, and then you did all your networking, yada, yada. So the speaker before me was polished and experienced. She had been in corporate for years and she had great tips and strategies to share. At the end of her presentation, she did a call to action, an invitation. And I can't remember what her invitation was, but she had zero takers. I came up with a well choreographed presentation. And listen to this, everyone, well choreographed, designed to cause people to take action and inspire them to do so in a good way. And I ended up, I think there was 20 people in the room, and I had 7 people say yes to my $97 invitation. So what was the difference? Right? She gave great value, tips, and knowledge. So did I. But in one presentation, there was 0 results. And in my presentation, I had a 30% conversion.
So what was it? Was it the package? Was it the delivery? Was it they liked you better?
I think all of those things.
True. It was true because the what you offer is almost as important as how you offer it.
Mm-hmm.
So learning how to share your invitation for them to go with you to the next level is key. And what you're offering is also really important. Like I always am brought back to Gladys Diaz when we talk about packages.
Mm-hmm.
So Gladys and Michelle are twin sisters, and their business is Heart's Desire International. And many of you know them. Their goal in life is to make sure that you are waking up every morning next to the person of your dreams, whether you have to find that person or whether that person's been laying next to you for years and you forgot that they were the person of your dreams, right? So Gladys was the one who was doing most of the speaking, and she was doing well. She's a good speaker. Like she had
Mm-hmm.
the, like you said, Nancy, she had the polish, she had the tonality, she had good content, but something was missing. In fact, the week before she attended the business of speaking training, she got on an airplane on her own dime from Miami to California to speak at a women's organization. There were over 100 people in the room. She got on the stage. She slammed it, she thought. She gets off the stage, everybody goes, Gladys, what a great job. You were so impressive. I love what you said. I learned so much. I'm going to do what you told me, all of those things. But nobody bought anything. So there she is thinking, okay, well, I spent all my money and I'm not getting anything out of it. What am I going to do and what am I doing wrong? Considering what we call her platform skills, being able to stand on the stage, considering how good they were and her ability to open people's hearts to what she was saying, it was really surprising that she wasn't making a sale. So we worked on all the different parts of a speech. And we made sure that she was engaging, that her clothes was good. We tweaked a few things. We got it to where it needed to be. And the big thing we did was we came up with a different package. And Nancy, you were a part of this.
I was.
Yeah. So you, in fact, helped her come up with a 3-day that would be like her signature program that would people would start with her. And I think it was like $300. So
Mm-hmm.
during the training class, you have the opportunity to practice whatever it is you want to sell. So Gladys gets her practice and she sold over $1,000 to the class with her brand new package. Nancy bought it. Nancy bought it too. And it wasn't just people feeling, oh, here's $300. No, 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 no. It was an amazing opportunity for them. So she sold $1,000 within the class. Within the next 3 days, she made phone calls. She worked with people. She sold $10,000 more. And I will tell you, this was probably 6, 7 years ago now. She's made over directly from that 3-day event that she created in the business of speaking with coaching from us. She has gotten $250,000 directly into her bank account just from that event that she's done over and over and over. And here's the other thing you got to think about. All those people coming in at the $300 level, many of them want to work with her beyond that. So she did her bookings and she looked at the extra income from those people, and she's actually at $500,000.
He's way beyond that now.
Oh, is she?
Totally way beyond that now. And so here's the key that we want to get to. As you're at the beginning of the year and you have your revenue goals and the number of people you want to reach and the impact that you want to have, you may be thinking, well, how the heck am I going to do that? I've got this big, hairy, audacious goal. How's that going to happen? Let's begin by considering what got you here won't get you there. It's time to do things differently. And that's why we offer this program, the business of speaking, at the start of the year, so that you are equipped with not only the skills that take your talent to the next level, but the confidence and the structure to actually make it happen.
And here's the thing, a lot of us are already speaking. We're on Zooms and getting 10 minutes here and a half hour there. And you're not doing it right. You're just not. What you're doing works, but it's not working in the way it could. You know, there's a huge difference between when you work with your funnel, and we talk about this all the time. So people come into your business and they come in because you gave them something for free, like a free download, or they read your blog. They come into your business, they give you their opt-in, and then you offer them something for $300, like the class I was talking about with Gladys and Michelle. And they love you, and then 10 or 20% of them go to the next level that you offer, and 10 or 20% go to the level after that. Well, when you follow that and 100 people come in and 10 of those people go to my next level and 2 of those people go to my next level, it's predictable revenue. You know what you're going to do when you know how many people come and how many I'm good at creating a relationship with. Other people call it closing, okay? Close the sale. I like to open the relationship, and that happens with the first sale. So when you do a closing rate at 10% in that funnel, you know, instead of you get 100 people and 10 of them buy, when you go for 100 people and 20 of them buy, your revenue does not double. You think that, oh, 10 to 20%, my revenue doubles. Not in this scenario. In this scenario, your revenue actually quadruples when you go from 10 to 20%. So if you don't know how many people you're able to open a relationship with based on the number of people you speak to, you want to start keeping track of that, because that's going to help you figure out how many people do I have to talk to in order to make my $100,000 revenue goal this year. And if you're talking to 100 people and 10 of them buy, that's great. But wouldn't it be better if 30 bought? 30% is the number you want to go to. So what I'm going to show you in the business speaking is a few things. One, I'm going to give you a formula where you can use it over and over and over again by plugging and playing. So every time I speak, I have a template that I have created that I'm going to share with you. And this template takes you through, how do I open? What do I say in the body of my talk so that I can be compelling? And how can I make my invitation or my offer so that people say, here's my credit card, you don't even have to finish. I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm going to show you an easy way for you to do that over and over again, regardless of your content. We can change the content more easily, and you will be able to just say, okay, I can speak on that, or okay, I can speak on this. That's the first thing I'm going to show you. I'm also going to show you how to get over yourself, because we all get nervous.
Wait, what do you mean?
We all get nervous. We all get so involved in what we're doing. We spend so much time thinking about it and worrying about it. Am I wearing the right thing? And my little heart pounding out my chest. The first time I spoke, first time I spoke as an adult in a business situation, I was in corporate, and I just had to speak for 5 minutes on what we were doing at the company picnic. And I tell you, my whole chest was red. My face was red. I was so hot. People always say you feel clammy. I knew what clammy meant for the first time in my life. And I walk up to the front of the room and my heart's going boom, 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 boom. Like I was scared. And I have to be honest with you, while I never get that scared every single time I speak, I get butterflies, I get energy, and I now know how to manage that energy so that I'm not nervous, so that it doesn't come out in my speech. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the third thing I want to show you is how you can truly make speaking part of your business revenue that you can count on over and over again. And looking at it as a line of business is speaking. And I'm going to show you how to do that. There's so much more. So I want you to please, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Nancy, if you'll get it into Facebook, that would be great.
Well,
For those of you on the phone, it's womensprosperinetwork.com/speaker training, one word, speaker training. And I have a special also. The tuition for the training class is reasonable to begin with. For those people who are members, full members of Women's Prosperity Network, the class is $149. For those of you who are not yet full members of Women's Prosperity, it's $199. So think about this. For $199, I'm going to teach you how to do the thing that's going to grow your business fastest and best for $199 or $149 if you're a member. I want to make it even easier for you. I want you to be like Gladys. I want you to be able to get what you want in your business. So I'm going to give you a code to save $50. So those of you who are members, it's $99 for you, and that's $149 for those of you who are not yet members. So join us. It's the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, 2 hours a day so that you can actually absorb it. 2 hours a day. So it's from noon to 2 on the Pacific side, and it's from 3 to 5 on the Eastern side. Now, if I can't make one of those days, no worries. I'm going to record it for you. So if you miss a day or if you miss half hour, it doesn't matter. If you're going to miss the whole thing, you're better off getting it and getting the recording and just doing it one day a week on your own.
yeah.
And yes, you can email me with questions. So join us at the Business of Speaking, because it's time for you to be seen as the expert in your industry. And it's time for you to be seen as the celebrity that you are. It's time to be seen as the person who makes the difference that you make. And this is the way to do it. I get
100.
pretty excited about it.
This is one of our favorite programs we offer because we know the ripple effect that it has, and to see the light bulbs go off and then get testimonials and emails from people. I just did a presentation and it was a 15-minute talk and I made $1,000. Like, this is a good thing,
I know. I was just
right?
looking at something. Leisha Berry, who's a
Yeah, that was good.
Tallahassee. Lisa, so people say to me, oh, it's different when you're selling a product. Like if you have a copy machine, it's much easier to sell that. Or if you have, a piece of jewelry, you can sell that. I'm selling something intangible. Well, Leisha sells exploration of the frontier inside of you as a woman. Like, that's pretty woo-woo if you ask me. That's not a product. And she was concerned. She always said, when I sold things for other people, it was so easy for me. But as soon as I was selling something I created, it wasn't working. So just by experiencing the Business of Speaking and going through what we learned and how we talk through it, she got a new confidence in her own ability to sell her stuff. And the day after she finished the training, she went to a networking and she sold $700.
Right.
And it was like 30% of the room.
Yeah.
So if you're going now and you're bringing discovery calls, or if you're going now and you're not getting what you want, or if you're going now and you're satisfied, stop being satisfied and get better. Because this is the one thing that when you get better at it will change your life. Warren Buffett, multi-billionaire. I said that with a B. Warren Buffett, who runs Berkshire Hathaway, really good guy too, gives most of his money away. He says that the number one way to increase your net worth, that's the amount of money that you're worth, by 50% or more, so to double your net worth, is to become really skilled at communication,
Mhm.
both written and verbal. And that's what I'm going to work with you on. That's what you're going to learn. You're going to become skilled at communication, no matter where you are on the spectrum. Never speaking once in a while, or speaking 3 times a week. You are going to learn tools and techniques that are going to take you to the next level, no matter where you are. And isn't that what we want? We want the next level, because when we
Absolutely.
increase, everything increases. So be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So be there. So go to womensprosperityNetwork.com/speaker training and enter the coupon code or promo code SAVE50, and just write that all together, SAVE50, all one word.
And does it have
Um,
to be caps? I think it might have to be caps.
I don't know if it matters. Give it a go.
All right.
We'll
Well,
see.
Darlene is in and Teresa is in. Hooray, hooray.
Congratulations. Yeah. Yeah. And so we're going to open up for questions in a little bit, and I want us to kind of do a mic drop, because what I see as the number one mistake people make when they're creating a presentation
Mm.
is starting with the wrong thing before you even put pen to paper or think about what your presentation is going to be. So much like when you're creating your goal for the year, you begin with the end in mind. Much like when you think about your vacation that you're planning, you begin with the end in mind and then work backwards from there. What I see presenters doing as a mistake, whether you're giving a master class, a webinar, a 10-minute talk, even being on a podcast, my friends, you think about, what do I want to teach? Do not start with that. We've got to start with, what is the impact I want to have on the audience so that they're inspired to take the next step, right? And there's always a next step. Even if you're delivering a paid presentation, there's a next step you want the audience to take. You want to inspire people to action, because if all they're going to do is be with you for that 30 minutes and not apply anything, we've all heard the phrase, information is not as powerful or not worth much compared to information that creates transformation. Right? And the
John
transformation.
Maxwell says it really well. Maxwell says, for those of you who know, John Maxwell's the leadership expert. John Maxwell says, um, knowledge changes your mind. Application changes your life.
Ooh, good. Very good. So when you're working on your presentation, begin with the end in mind. What's the action I want people to take at the end? So do you want them to purchase something? Do you want them to have a discovery call? Do you want them to have a new way of thinking? And in terms of earning revenue and going out to speak to grow your business and reach more people, you want to create a call to action that puts them at the next level of relationship with you.
Right.
That's the most important thing to remember. It's not about selling them. It's moving them to the next level of relationship with you, because at that next level is where you get to really create a greater impact. And when you create a greater impact, you get a greater income.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I was looking at, so I did a talk for an hour at someone else's event. And when I first got there, there were about 100 people in the room at 9 a.m. And I was supposed to be speaking right after lunch. And after lunch, we were like 2 speakers behind. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what's going to happen? And you know what happens after lunch, right? The 100 people dwindles down, and all afternoon it was dwindling, dwindling, dwindling. So by the time I came up at 4:30 on a Saturday, everybody's gone, right? There were 35 people in the room. And those 35 people gave me all their attention. I did a great job, and I sold 28 of the people did not have what I was offering. And I sold 10 of those 28. I was very happy. It was my
Yeah,
number,
that's
right?
great. Yeah.
Now I had to split my sale with the person who invited me. So I sold something for almost 1,000. It was 995. When all was said and done, I walked away with like $4,800. Okay. But here's what I want you to get. And this is the whole idea of what we do when we speak. We open relationships. So of those 10 people, 2 people later bought my highest program for a total of $50,000. Those 2 people brought me $50,000. And they continued after purchasing the first time to continue to purchase.
Mhm.
So, A, it doesn't matter how many people are in the room. B, it doesn't matter who they are. C, there's revenue waiting for you that we're just leaving on the table because we're not making the right offer the right way. So I want to show you how to do that because once you know that, it's like nirvana. It's like, oh, this is how it works. Now I understand why Trish says this is the number one way to do it. So by immersing yourself for these 2 hours a day, you're going to get what you need in small chunks so that it's easily digestible and easily doable.
Right.
That's
And you
all.
can apply it and integrate it little bits. I don't know about you, but I come away from conferences with, a notebook filled with ideas and what I'm going to do. And then it sits on my desk.
Yes, right.
All right, good. So we're going to open up for some questions. So go ahead and excuse me, if you're with us on Zoom, you can raise your hand. If you're on the phone, you can unmute yourself and then I'll bring you to the conversation. If you're on Facebook, just go ahead and list whatever question you have there. And I'm going to give away a little bit of a tidbit to entice you to want to come even more. And that is when you're doing a presentation, have you ever had the experience where you're delivering your presentation and it's going along great, and then all of a sudden you go, I only have 5 minutes left and I need to invite them or sell them, blah, 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 and you get no takers because you
Yeah.
only have 5 minutes. What's your energy like then? One of the tools you're going to receive is an actual outline of how to core the timing of your presentation so that you can stay on track and not lose that valuable space required for your invitations. You're going to learn how to give the invitation, but now you're going to also learn what's the timing. So if you're doing a 1 hour talk, how much do you need for the opening? How much for the content? How much for the close? If you're doing a 30-minute talk or a 15-minute talk. And then also, what's the price range that is appropriate to offer based upon the time you have to speak? This resource is enough, that one thing to learn that is enough to say, I'm coming to the workshop. I got to have this because you want your next presentation to be the most effective and impactful one that creates income while you're creating transformation for the people you work with. So, Trish, I had to tell them they were going to get
Well,
that.
that's just the tip of the old iceberg. I just made a note for myself to look at uh, the playbook that we give everybody. We give everybody comes and gets a playbook with
Yep.
all of the templates and all of the tools and all of the worksheets so that you have everything you need when you're finished. Like we're not finished. We're opening this conversation so that you can get better and better at speaking and we're handing you the resources for it as
Yep.
well. So I just made a note to make sure I look at that, to make sure it's up to
That
date
is
for
in
next
there. Okay,
time.
good, good, good. All right. So let's go ahead, open up for questions, comments. Please share any insights, ahas, or curiosities that you have. So raise your hand if you're with us on Zoom, or if you're on the phone, you can just unmute yourself and I'll bring you to the table. So let's start with Judy Yates.
Thank you. I know I have something scheduled for that Thursday, Friday, but you said it's going to be recorded?
Yes, ma'am. And you will get the recording. And if you have any questions, Judy, you can just email me and we can reach out and connect.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad, especially in your business, when you're working with numbers, right? People kind of glaze over. when you talk about what you do. So believe it or not, CPAs are very interesting.
Well, I think we're fascinating, but I'm partial.
I know. I think so too. But
And
really,
we need you. We
yeah, we
need you.
need you. We
Amen.
need you. Amen. So yes, definitely be there, Judy, for the day that you can, and then the other 2 days you'll get a recording. And you'll also get the workbook. Let me just say the workbook in itself is an amazing resource.
Marvelous, marvelous.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Have a great
Very
day, Judy.
glad you'll be joining us. And then I see a question in the chat from Evie. Did you see that, Trish?
No, I did not.
Are you both teaching at this event?
I don't know. Are you
Let me
coming?
say this about that. When I first started out as an entrepreneur, I got over my fear of public speaking by attending BNI, Business Networking International. And you have to start by doing a 60-second commercial, which I was terrified about. And this is in the early 2000s. And here's what I needed to overcome, y'all. I went to college for political science. It was my dream to be a lawyer. And in my freshman year, I signed up for the courses that were part of the poli-sci agenda. And one of them was public speaking. So I go into the public speaking class. And on the very first day, the teacher says, all right, I want everybody to get up in front of the room and you're going to introduce yourselves. And half of the room is going to go today, and then this half of the room will go tomorrow. So I was on the tomorrow half of the room. So I watched person after person go up there, and my stomach was in knots. And I'm like, I can't do this. I dropped the class. That's how scared I was. I dropped the class. Right. Fast forward, 20 years later, I'm in business for myself and I need to get clients and I need to learn how to tell people what it is that I offer. And it was for my title company at the time. And I go to BNI and I learned how to deliver a 60-second commercial. But the way that I learned to get over my fear and get better and more confident was I had my sister Trish to show me techniques and strategies to get over my nerves, to be able to be clear and concise in my messaging. And then when it came time to do a 10-minute presentation there, who do you think I had to coach me? My darling sister Trish. So all that to say, this is Trisha's area of expertise, her ballywick. Like she is brilliant at that and can run this show by herself without me parroting in some ways. And I don't know if she's, filled me in to do something at the event. So we'll let you know, Evie.
I love you both. Send you loves. You guys are
There you go. We love
But
you too.
you know what's really funny is sometimes we'll be, and you say parroting, which is so funny. People will say to me, "Oh, you sound just like Nancy." And who was it? Oh, we answered the phone last week. Remember we were at your house and the phone rang,
Varsha.
and it was
Yeah.
Varsha, somebody we know, and it was my phone that was ringing. And Nancy
So
answered
I
it.
hit it and I was going, shh, shh, shh. Hi, Varsha, how are you? I just started talking for a few minutes. It was so funny.
And then I went in and talked for a few minutes, and then she talked again. And I said, I bet you don't know you're talking to two people. She goes, what? So I'm telling you, we are the same person with red hair and blonde hair. So you get the benefit of both of our knowledge for sure. So Raksha said she cannot come. She's been here, yes, many times. Not only does it help you in your business, but also in your life. I use the format for creating healthy boundaries. That's good to know. Help you in your business, but also in your life. I use the format for creating healthy boundaries. That's good to know. Help you in your business, but also in your life.
That's because Raksha has her Facebook open as well or something.
Ah, there you go. Well, Raksha, thank you for putting that in the chat. I know you can't come on live this morning, but I'm so excited you're going to be starting a podcast. So excited. And yeah, I want to know more about how it helps you with format for creating healthy boundaries. I can't wait to hear about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I totally use it on my grandson all the time. I just put it in the same order that you give it to me for making a close because trust me, a 70-year-old needs to be closed many a times.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's awesome.
how you engage them, and that's fantastic. I love it. Yeah, I always say whether you want your kids to clean up their room or you want somebody to buy your stuff, it's the same process.
Mhm.
It is. So
Yeah,
I will be seeing you guys there because like I said, I'm starting a podcast and I need a new
I love
structure.
it. I
wonderful.
love it. I love it. Good job, girl. You're getting out there. All right.
Yep. Thanks.
Let's go to Anne Rockley next.
Hi, I am registered for the speaking, and I hesitated a little bit because I am a seasoned speaker in my prior role. I was in high tech, so I've done bazillions of presentations. I've been keynote, I've done workshops. I would in any of the presentations, you were never ever allowed to sell. Now I'm doing one-on-one with women with health coaching and career mentoring, and I know it's very different. But I have an opportunity to speak at the end of February in 7 minutes. I have never done anything that short in my life. And I don't know, is that, I mean, I'm so used to being a very informational speaker, as you spoke about. Um, can you
Oh my
combine
gosh, yes,
value? And,
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, in 7 minutes.
The shorter amount of time you have, the greater your impact can be.
Cool.
7 minutes feels like a short period of time, but it's enough time for you to establish your credibility, for you to inspire them to want what you have, and for you to seed or actually invite them to what you have. So yes, 7 minutes is a great amount of time. You'll be able to do it. Who are you speaking with? What's the group?
It's a conference on visibility. So increasing your visibility, and I'll be talking about managing your stress. Many
So,
people get very stressed when they speak and a variety of things like that. But I've just never done anything that short before in my life.
well,
So
think about this, Anne. At the end of the 7 minutes, what outcome do you want to have? What do you want the audience to do when your 7 minutes is up?
I obviously want them to value my expertise,
Mhm.
Well,
and
they'll do that, but
and
that's state.
I want them to respond to my call to action, which I haven't decided what it is yet.
So that's what I want you to think about. What action do you actually want them to take to move your relationship? And think of it this way, everybody. What's the action for them to take to move your relationship to the next level? And in my suggestion would be in 7 minutes. Do you have a book? Are you an author by any chance?
High tech, yes. Three-time author in high tech has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Okay, and I might be able to find a through thread for you on that. So let's maybe come back to that when we do, because you're in momentum coaching with us. So I'd like to
Yeah.
explore that a little bit. Plus, you'll do it at the workshop. Do you have any digital products created? Like audio
I
recordings
have a
or
signature
videos?
program. I have a signature program. I have some evergreen videos. I have a totally online program. I haven't done the low end one yet, and I sort of haven't done the mid range.
So,
Well, think about taking. Oh, go ahead, Trish.
I was going to say, Sharon asked this question in the chat. She says, it's the same thing, Anne. She says, I have a similar background to Anne. What if I
Yeah.
don't have a package to sell yet, or I'm just starting out as my own parent, coach, therapist? At the lowest level, you can always invite people to have a session with you. And I always call it a strategy session because that means
Yeah, I
you're
do have
going
one
to
of
have some
those. Yeah.
strategy. And I always pair it with something they're going to get right away. A download of 10 easy ways to be a better parent for you, Sharon, or 10 easy ways to put technology into your business. But something simple that they can download. It can be a piece of paper that you wrote and call it an ebook if you want. But give them that.
I do have a checklist. I have a fast stress release, 5 fast stress release.
Perfect. So today,
Okay.
what I'm inviting you to do is to get this great tool on how to overcome stress in the moment. And now you have to embellish why they want this.
Right.
Because when you're in the moment is when you need the tools. So I'm
Absolutely.
going to give you this tool right now so that you can learn it and then in the moment be able to use it. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm throwing in a bonus one-on-one session. The one-on-one session with you and me is strategy to get around whatever it is that's stopping you or whatever it is that's causing this problem for you. And when we get together for this strategy session, we're going to uncover whatever it is that's happening that you may not even see. But that's my expertise, is helping to get out those things that are not yet seen. And then I'm going to give you some strategies on how to deal with them so that the problem goes away. So this one-on-one conversation and the ebook with the 10 ways to overcome stress is normally $95. But today for you, I want to make it so easy for you to do this so that you can have the same results as Mary had that I mentioned earlier, or so that you can have the same results that Susan had that I told you about. So instead of $99, this for you today is only $49. $49 to learn how to get out of stress in the moment, and $49 to really look at and move forward on the thing that's stopping you the most. So I urge you to do that. Here's the link. You can set up an appointment. So you get what I'm saying here. So you actually have to
Yeah.
sell
I'm
the
thinking, I
session.
can't wait for the transcript on this when you're
You
saying.
have to sell the session. You can't just say, I'm throwing in a bonus with me. They're going to say, oh, great, I get to be with you. You better tell me what we're going to do and get me excited about it, or I'm not buying it. So anyway, so Sharon, I hope that helped you as well. So at the
I'm
very
sure it
least,
did.
a strategy session and a piece of paper you call an ebook or an audio or something they get right now, because we want everything now, and then
Oh,
they schedule.
absolutely. Yes.
I hope that was helpful.
Very, very helpful. I've really been racking my brain trying to figure out how on earth do you do anything valuable in 7 minutes? It's just so
Simple. And your job, Anne, is not to provide teaching. Your job is to inspire them to see that
yes.
they have a problem that you can solve.
Yeah, I have to learn to unteach.
Yes, most of us
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I was a corporate teacher also, and I never had to stand up and say, okay, sign up for my next class and it's $50.
Yeah.
That was the thing I had to learn outside of corporate. I can inspire executives to sign off on things, but it's not the same as having individuals opening their wallets. And that's what you're going to learn at the business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I'm here.
Fantastic. Well,
Very
good. Good luck. When's
Thank
your
you.
speech? When are you talking for 7 minutes?
February 28th.
Okay, good. Well, let's work on that when you're in the class.
Okay. Will do.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome, awesome. All right, everyone. Remember, once again, the link is womensprosperinetwork.com/speaker training. And then enter the promo code SAVE50 so that you get a $50 savings, because we want to make it easy for you to grow yourself and your business in this beautiful way. I love it. All right. Who else has a question or comment for Miss Trish Carr? While we're here, before we wrap up, we have a couple of minutes left. So let me ask this while we're checking on people coming into queue. What if, Trish, I really don't want to do speaking engagements?
If you really don't want to do speaking engagements,
How will
that's
this help me?
oh my gosh, how will it help you? It will show you. Well, first we have to talk about the don't wanna and why you don't wanna, right? So, if you don't wanna,
Scared. Wait, I'm too scared. I'm too old. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm too young. All the twos.
okay. Yeah, and I'm going to use my Evis just asked a question about overcoming an objection. How do I respond? It's the same thing. I don't want to speak is I'm sitting here myself saying, what are you, nuts? You don't want to speak. So I'm to all of those things. So my question is, that's great. If you would rather not be on stage and in front of people, how are you bringing in clients? That's where I go, is how do you bring in clients? What amount of time does it take you? All the twos, let's put them aside a moment and let's just get strategic. If you're bringing in the clients and you're making the 7 or 8 figures that you want to make, or the 6 figures you want to make, I'm not going to push you. But if you continue to do what you're doing and it's not working, it's time to do something different. So my approach is to handhold you to get you past the twos.
Mm-hmm.
The too scared, the too afraid, the too fat, it's all the same thing. It's you having confidence in you and trusting yourself. And it also goes back to, who am I to stand on this stage? Why should they listen to me?
That's that
Who am
whole
I?
imposter.
Yeah. So it's about you seeing who you are. And when you attend this class, just like Leisha Berry, you will go into your own frontier inside, and we will find whatever it is that you need to give you that confidence. And I'm going to give you all the tools, because you know what? When it comes to speaking, especially when we're a little nervous like that, the focus we do is we give ourselves the focus. What am I going to wear? What am I going to say? Do I wear these glasses? Do I wear this lipstick? What if I say this and they don't get it? How can I be funny? It's all about me, 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 me. Well, when you're speaking, it's all about them. And
Yep.
you shift your focus from me to them. You shift your focus from inward to outward. And when you do that with the tools that I'll give you and the templates that you'll work with, it's all audience focused. It gets you out of your head. It gets you out of your own concerns about yourself and moves you into the space of being with your audience. So it will change you just by attending and learning.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the other thing I know is the choreography and the presentation profitizer, as we like to call it, that formula, it can be applied to all of your conversations with people. So you want to be able to use this skill, as Trish said, whether you're speaking to one or you're speaking to many.
Yeah. And you know, Sharon sent me a message and she said, speaking isn't the problem. It's creating that PDF worth $49 that I don't know anything about and selling it. So here's the thing. You want to be really low, 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 low. It's just you create it in Word and you send it yourself by clicking a button on an email. You can manually do that, and you can take a credit card. So there's so many easy ways to do this, and we can get you set up so this is easy automation. Sharon, you got to come. You got to come. We'll get you
Yeah.
all of the details you need.
Yeah.
It's
Teresa's.
the content too. Oh, the content of your $49 thing. Well, Sharon, if you're teaching parenting skills, that's all I need here's 5 different things to do to deal with conflict with your teenager. 5 things, 1 paragraph with have 1 day a week where you go out together and then you write a little something. And then maybe the next one is I don't know, I'm not a parent. So but think of I mean, if I sat down and thought of it, I could, but think of 5 things you can invite them to do to make their life easier, to communicate better, to open up to them, whatever it is, and just put it on a piece of paper. That's it.
Love it.
And have a nice pretty top with what you call it, have your little logo on it or your name on it. It's so easy.
Yeah, and one of the things that happens at the workshop is you're going to get the opportunity to brainstorm and mastermind with your WPN sisters some of
Right.
these ideas. And everybody feeds off of each other. All right, we got time for one more. Evie's in the chat says, a client said yes to my coaching and told me she can't because unexpected expenses came up. So, that's a sales conversation that we want to talk to. And in order for me to best serve you, Evies, I need to know how you how she said yes. You know, did she said yes in one conversation and you said, I'll call you back next week to get started. And then she said, oh, I don't have the money right now. Ultimately, you want to go back to her and say something along the lines of, hey, I get it. Unexpected expenses come up for all of us. And do you want to make some change now? Do you really want to wait until don't have unexpected expenses? And I don't know when that's going to be. Or do you want to make some change now? If you can't do the full program we talked about, how about we get started with this and you offer something at a lower price? Gabriella says book recommendations, preferably one written by Trish. Which I
Well,
love.
I'm just putting it in the chat right now so that you can pick it up. This will take you to the Kindle version, but you can certainly click on the book version as well. So just go to Amazon, and boy, that's a big link. But just go
Sure.
to Amazon and put in "It's Just a Conversation" book, ask for the book, and it'll come up, and you can pick it up there.
Yep. So Trish has co-written a book with Debbie Silverman. It's just a conversation, what to say and how to say it in business. It's a phenomenal book.
Yeah, it's
Phenomenal
got a lot of sales and body language and how to get past the gatekeeper and how to deal with those uncomfortable conversations like asking people for the money that they owe you, stuff like that.
All that stuff.
And
All
sales,
right.
and sales. And we wrote it like a manual so you can open to whatever chapter you need at that time.
All right, Trish, you are amazing. I am so grateful to have you as my business partner and above all, my sister. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I look forward to seeing all of you at the Business of Speaking next week. And I hope you all have a fantastic Wow Wednesday. And Nancy, as usual, thank you so much for having me. Thanks for having this platform and bringing us together every week to be inspired, motivated, and to move forward.
Yes, yes, yes. It is my pleasure and my purpose. So get out there, my friends, live your purpose with pleasure. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.